Good afternoon, and welcome to AAUW Conversation and Connection. Auburn American Association of University Women is what AAUW stands for, and we have this opportunity just to introduce you to the community, to what we do. We're most known right now for the Trivia Bee and our Tech Trek for our young girls, because our mission is equality in education for women and girls. And so that is the background of this little show. My name is Sharon Watson Hamilton, and I'm happy to host. I want to thank Phil at ACTV. I always thank Phil for being a good director to our program. And then I also want to thank Susan Rushton. She originally gave us this idea to promote ourselves through our TV show. So I thank her for that suggestion, and I also want to promote for her. Her little show is Oleo, and I think it's on once or twice a month. And so if you're visiting us on YouTube or one of those avenues to get to us, also includes Susan's Oleos. And in retrospect, I want to also plug Phil is a busy man, and he's acting in Bus Stop at the Gomez Center right now until September 24th, I think, is his last performance. So by all means, look into that performance through Placer Community Theater. So those are the little backgrounds. AAUW sounds fancy. We're not. We're a great organization. We are a nonprofit. We want to promote equity and education, like I said. We're not all university women. We are open to 2-year degree programs and certificates, and we welcome men as well. It sounds like just women. It's not. We have a couple male members. So don't be put off by that grandiose title. I think 50 years ago, 100 years ago, it probably was a little more inclusive, but now we want to be everybody invited. My guest today is Sandra Scott, and she is a member of AAUW. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Sharon.
So we're going to talk about a very important subject today, and that is our 75th anniversary here in Auburn. And so our Jubilee is coming up next April. So that's pretty exciting. So Sandra, I'm going to backtrack a little bit and just ask you, what's your storyline for getting into AAUW? What things have you been involved in Auburn in terms of AAUW? So just a little bit about you and your story.
Okay, well, I think I joined in 2015. Might have been earlier, but I think it was around 2015. And the reason I joined is that I retired from Sierra College in 2010, and then I consulted for a few years, but I decided to retire from that. So I thought, well, this will be a good organization for me to get involved in the community and to meet some people, because mostly I slept in Auburn and worked downtown in Rockland.
Yeah.
So I didn't know a lot of people, and this was a great opportunity to do that. So the thing that early on that I really spent time on is the Tech Trek Committee.
Oh.
I really believe that that is an excellent opportunity.
Tell us a little bit about Tech Trek. We'll just background here a little bit.
Well, Tech Trek is a science, technology, engineering, and math program for girls going from 7th grade to 8th grade. And they spend an entire week at UC Davis.
Nice.
They get the college experience at that age. They meet girls from Northern California who participate, and they learn all about different aspects of STEM careers. For example, I think they extract DNA from a strawberry. They dissect a sheep's eyeball. They do some mechanical engineering, some architecture. They hear from women in STEM careers about their experience and how they prepared.
And they're staying at the dorms at the college the whole time. Right?
Yeah, and eating at the cafeteria. Yeah. And they tour the campus as well. So it's really, it's a wonderful experience experience for these girls. And it's one of the reasons we raise funds,
Yes.
besides our scholarships, is to have these girls be able to go and have a great week at UC Davis.
Yeah. Wow. And you started in that. I had forgotten
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bonnie Wilson was
Yes.
was the chair at the time, and so I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I know that our president Deb was on the committee as well, and both of us really believe in that program. And as a matter of fact, Deb's an electrical engineer.
Right. Well, it wasn't it you and Deb that did that other little project that we did on our
Oh,
own?
electrifying our
Yeah. That was fun, and we had a few girls through the Girl Scouts.
Girl Scouts,
yeah, brownies
Yep.
and they made their own little transistors
Well,
it was
it's
fun.
It's a project where they made artwork from Play-Doh, and Play-Doh happens to conduct electricity. And so we had different electrodes in a battery-operated thing, and so they could make their sculpture and then put in lights and maybe a twirly thing to create these wonderful sculptures. And the girls were, I mean, these were little kids, but they were just so on it. And Deb taught a lesson on basic electricity.
Right. Yeah. I just find that, still go back in time and find that so fun. So,
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was.
It was fun.
Yeah. What other roles have you done? I know you've been involved with us on a lot of levels.
Well, I built the existing website.
Mm-hmm.
That took an entire summer.
I was gonna say years for me, but yeah.
Yeah, I built the existing website, and then I maintained it for some years until I became president. Mm-hmm. And then Deb Sabo took it over while I was president. And then when I stepped down after being what I call the pandemic president,
yes.
my 2 years were the pandemic.
They were rough. It was trying to
uh,
get us all on board virtually, and
right.
yeah,
and keep the interest up in the organization, because we couldn't do things that we had before.
right. Oh God.
So anyway, I did that, and then I've also been the newsletter editor for some years. I just gave that up to Carol Daly. So that president, I think Tech Trek and website and newsletter.
Yeah. Those are pretty hefty jobs for our little organization. That a lot on your shoulders during those couple years and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me it was, and it still is, having to stay up to date with technology.
Yeah.
And get involved in the community. And so now I took over from you and Barbara. I'm membership vice president.
Yes. Oh gosh, we were kind of glad to step down from that for a while.
Yeah,
So,
I'll bet.
yeah.
Well, that too is a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. However, we are here today mostly to talk about the latest role you have, which is chairing our
75th Diamond Jubilee anniversary.
Yes.
Yay! Yeah, that's 75 years. And so, should I go into a little history?
Yeah, let's
right now?
just go
Okay.
into it. When is it? Where is it? Celebrating
Well,
our...
let me do the history part.
Okay,
first.
history part first, yes.
So, in 1948 is when the Auburn branch of AAUW got organized, and I like to tell people that I got organized in 1948 too.
Yes.
But we didn't become a official branch until 1949, April.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like-minded women who had college education and were looking for intellectual stimulation.
Yeah.
And so, I think one of the neatest parts about, organizing and then becoming official in 1949 is that one of our hallmarks is scholarships. And we gave our first scholarship in 1949 in October.
Well, we'd only been together like 4 or 5 months.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And so it was our first scholarship, a whole $50.
Oh.
And Joy Johnson was our first recipient. So her father taught at Placer High, and she was at Placer College, which was also at Placer High at that time, later to become Sierra College. So Joy was our first recipient, and we have provided scholarships for 75 years to young women in this community. And I think that's a remarkable record.
Yes. It's we've gone a long ways from $50, but wow. Wow.
Yeah, well,
right?
50 and 49.
Right.
Well,
right.
yes, we've increased it, but to do that for 75 years consistently is, I think, really, like I said, remarkable.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to just put in a baby plug here for you. During the pandemic, those 2 years of doing everything virtually, not having our fundraisers, I mean, it was, Sandra did a fantastic job to keep us on track, to keep that record going, to give out scholarships those years. So that's kudos to you. And you mentioned being organized. I caught this, so here we go. Organized in 1948. I'm going to celebrate 1949, so we're like right there. Anyway,
you got organized in 1949.
Yeah. So anyway, kind of fun. And so we are looking forward to, and we're calling it our Diamond Jubilee. Diamonds.
Yes,
Okay, we're going to go for jewels this time.
Right.
I like it. Yeah.
Right. So it will be in April. We think on the 28th of April, 2024. At the Ridge, and we're still in the planning stages,
right,
looking to see if there's either a national or a state level AAUW representative who could, congratulate us, give a little speech or something.
Give us money.
Give us money. Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be good.
So we're looking at it as a wonderful opportunity to celebrate the accomplishments of our organization.
Oh, wow.
And so one of the things I'm doing along the way is I'm going to put out a timeline, once every month, another piece of trivia, I guess, about our organization and what we've done.
I just love that idea of a timeline to carry the whole membership through the year, of little vignettes like that. I think that's just a great idea. And so let's talk about a couple of them. We can share them on the camera.
Okay. In the beginning, because I interviewed Gina Akers, she was a charter member, and what she said was, well, I've got the quote right here. From the start, we were focused on promoting education. We weren't rolling bandages anymore, because this was just after the end of World War II. So, and she said, focused on education for young women as well as ourselves. And so it was, I thought, it was a different world, but it was an important activity for the women in this community. And, over the years, to raise money for scholarships and later Tech Trek, homes, we've done a homes tour.
Oh, wow, I'd forgotten that.
A juried art show. Apparently we sold UNICEF cards for children-related projects in Auburn.
We did a long time, yeah.
And according to one of our members, we started sponsored a monthly area recycling program, which I haven't had time to research, but it's like, oh, we did that. I mean, so we've been, and then we started, Susan Rushton started Trivia Bee in 2012.
Yeah.
And so we've always been engaged with the community, supporting young women in the community. But, as well, we've always been about advancing gender equity. And, the organization, you probably said this in your introduction more than once, but 1881, it's a long time. And so some of the other important things that are in here is that the national organization, over the years, supported and lobbied for the Equal Pay Act, which was first proposed in 1945
Oh, gosh.
and finally passed in 1963.
Wow.
Yeah. Title IX in 1972. Family and Medical Leave Act in 1993, which was passed, and the Lilly
Gosh, that only passed-
Better Fair Pay Act in 2009.
Wow. You know, those things, those were all our working years. You'd think we would be on top of those changes, but I just think we showed up for work, and then all of a sudden we had this and we had that, and I don't think I was as involved as I was once I got in with the university women's groups, and being motivated more to look into those things and support those things.
And
Yeah.
support those things,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's, should I do the Barbie thing now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This is one of the cutest stories ever. And it's cute because everybody should know by now the Barbie movie is like the best movie ever made, I guess. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever seen it, and I'm sure it's not the best movie ever made, but it's gotten a lot of good press, if you will. So here is the story. Sandra's going to help.
So, and it's from the New York Times. So in 1992, they wrote, Mattel introduced Teen Talk Barbie, which uttered, among other phrases, a chirpy, math class is tough.
Math class is tough. Oh.
Oh dear, confirming the historically trend-savvy brand was falling behind the times and prompting criticism from the American Association of University Women. You go AAUW.
And what year was that?
1992.
92.
Yep, they spoke up and said, hold the phone.
Yeah, hold the phone. Oh my gosh. Because I think after that she was a doctor. She was all kinds of things that
Right.
after she was a teen Barbie. Yeah.
Right. And so, timely in terms of the article and AAUW.
Right.
And the movie being released this summer. So.
Are we going to wear pink on our celebration? We should all wear pink.
We could.
We could. We probably won't. But anyway.
Yeah. Do I have pink?
Jules, pink. Okay. You know, we do. This is a good group. We want to get our word out there and invite everybody to join us. A lot of our activities, I'm just going to sidebar here a little bit. A lot of our activities do include the public. We have International Interest Dinner, where we get a speaker that talks about somebody internationally, something that's going on. I think last year was she the Ukrainian gal. Was that last year?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And so we invite the public to that. Certainly guests are welcome at our holiday luncheon. Our celebration, I'm not sure the public will be invited. I don't know whether we'll leave it exclusive or come on and join us. I don't know where we're at on that. It's still in planning.
To be determined.
But we are excited building up into the coming year and celebrating us. And do you have any more little quick stories that we can share? Because I know there was some on your timeline.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably we'll do it. Okay. So the first Tech Trek recipients. So Tech Trek started in 1999.
Okay.
And started in California, and there are now Tech Trek programs across the country under the flagship of AAUW. Mm-hmm. And so let's see, Savannah Haveman from Bowman School was the first Tech Trek recipient.
Here in Auburn, Bowman School.
Our girl.
Our Bowman.
And there was a Teresa Martin on the waiting list. And in 2000, Caitlin Burrows, Alta Dutch Flat, and there was, I think, an alternate also for that event. So, it's been
23 years, and they were probably 12. So they're like 35 now?
Well, no, I mean, at first it was like 1 or 2.
Okay. But I mean, no, their ages.
Oh, yeah, they're in their mid-30s.
30s, yeah.
And if for some reason, let's say, out there watching, you either received a scholarship from Auburn AAUW or you received a sponsorship to go to Tech Trek Camp at UC Davis, go to our website, and what I was telling Sharon is like, just Google Auburn AAUW, you'll find it. You'll see our email, and send us an email. We'd like to get to get some input and to see these recipients, because we've got 75 years of scholarship recipients.
Yeah.
Probably the first. Well,
don't.
some of them are really old, but the Tech Trek girls are in their 30s.
30s, yeah.
And so wouldn't that be swell to have some of them come to
It would be.
our event? And because when we had the scholarship meeting in June, and
That was a great story.
yeah, and get to see the girls, who this year got scholarships from us, and hear a little bit about from them. It was fun,
And okay, I don't know if I've talked about this in the program or not, but one of the young ladies working that event out at Winchester, when we had our celebration at the end of the year, and our scholarship winners, and we're talking, and she goes, "Oh, I was a recipient during COVID, and they had to hold it, and you guys held it for me." I mean, we had no idea this was the same young girl that we had given a scholarship to, and then held it for her because she couldn't go to school right then. I mean, it was, and then I think she was also on Tech Trek?
I don't know.
I can't. You just think it was scholarship?
Yeah, it was scholarship.
But it was just to run into her was so fun. To I don't know. I just thought the connection was great. So
yeah, it was. And Brandy Ambrosia, who's our scholarship chair, had her tell her story at the end of the meeting. So it was really nice to see, and she's doing very well now.
Yeah.
In school. And was she just going to transfer someplace? I can't remember.
I don't know. It seemed like this young lady was working her tables, taking care of us, telling her story, had been a recipient of the scholarship, and I think she was going to, I don't know, Harvard or some Berkeley, MIT, some big name. Not, I don't know. It just seemed like she was all together and pretty outstanding.
Yeah. So, and getting back to the first scholarship recipient, she went to Berkeley and then got her degree in psychology, I think, something like that, and then got another degree from Stanford in physical therapy.
And this was all back in the 50s then?
Right.
Okay.
In physical therapy, because during that time when she got her degree, it was the polio years.
Oh, gosh,
and so physical therapists were in high need.
Wow.
So she ended up in science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yeah.
And I think she was Phi Beta Kappa too.
Wow.
So we got a good one the first time out.
Wow, no kidding. I think your research coming up this next year is going to be phenomenal on those kinds of stories. I mean, I love that story, and to intertwine it with history like that. I mean, we so forget sometimes how important World War II or how important polio and the vaccine and those things were huge back then. I mean, we're so concentrated on COVID and what we've experienced recently, and of course just recently the anniversary of 9/11. So such a somber memory, and but to always pay tribute to and not forget, and those kinds of stories, I think I intertwine with all that.
Yeah, well, it's a long history and things have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandra's always telling me that because I'm the one lagging behind in the technology world. I still pick up the phone. I still mail letters. In fact, I was at the post office. You would have been proud of me. I only bought $100 worth of stamps. I know. You're so... But I like going in and buying stamps. Okay. So, but we digress. So, when is our celebration? We think it's the 28th of April next year. 75 years. Diamond Jubilee, we're calling it.
Right.
So, I think anything else that we're going to plan for that? I know we're kind of still in the planning stages.
Well, I think what we want to do is...
What's your vision?
Well, to have the community know that we've been here for 75 years.
Yeah.
And have the broader community know what we've contributed to this community in our time. The recycling program, this, that. Mary Stevens told me that somehow we partnered with the Congregational Church to start a place for seniors to live,
Oh, wow.
like something terrace.
Oh, out there by the church.
Yeah.
Was that? Oh, we were
think
part
so.
of that collaboration?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm darn. I think
Yeah.
it's Auburn Terrace. Is it Auburn
could
Terrace?
be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
anyway, Mary told me that we started that, and with the church,
Okay.
they were studying on death and dying, but apparently there wasn't something like that then.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure everybody still lived at home and stayed with family, and
Yeah.
kind
So
of neat. Yeah.
so we've been out there doing a lot of stuff
Yeah. No kidding.
for years.
That recycling story is kind of fascinating to me too. Way before recycling was even on the radar, it seems like. But so that's pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
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 Let's see. Anything else that we want to discuss real quickly? I just think that it's coming up. It's going to be here before we know it. Our year begins July 1st to June 30th, so it's a kind of a fiscal year, but we don't start meeting until September. I love September, but not always for AAUW reasons. There's football to contend with. But anyway, I digress. And if you watch the 49er game, though, I won't digress yet. The 49ers were great. Just saying, it was pretty good. Brock Purdy. Anyway, they're laughing at me now in the studio. So back to AAUW in the fall. Our first meeting is coming up this Friday, and we're going to celebrate those Tech Trek girls that we sent this year. I think there are 7 of them. 5 we sent in person and 2 virtual. I believe my numbers are accurate. So that's going to be that celebration coming up, and starts our year out in meetings, and then we have monthly meetings or events throughout the year, and culminating pretty close to April. We'll have 1 or 2 after that, but that's going to be our focus this year.
Right. And also this year we have 2 additions to our programs. Last year we started Speech Trek.
Yes.
So helping young people give a speech.
Yeah.
And it's a competition. And we had a first, second, and third prize.
Yeah.
And then this year we're adding something called GovTrek.
Right. Government.
And it's open, I think, to boys and girls.
Yes, I think that's open to everybody.
To be able to learn more about government, to have them be interested in partaking in government, but as an informed person.
Yeah.
So that's another competition.
Whew.
That's statewide. I think.
Yeah. And Susan Ruff-Garden, who's been on this show, is kind of spearheading both of those
She is.
new activities. So we have a lot coming up. I hope you enjoy our little show. Come join us. Come talk to us. Like Sandra said, just Google Auburn AAUW, and that will lead you into our email, the website. Much easier than giving out the information that we all stumble over. But anyway, I hope you all have a great fall. The weather's been grand. I'm just excited for the new year, and I want everybody to have a happy fall. Take care of each other and take good care.